Okay, let's start this tutorial by first going to kiwisyslog.com, which is part of SolarWinds. Now, on this page or website, you're going to find the Kiwi Syslog server, which is a Syslog server for the Windows platform. If you have to log a lot of systems, I would suggest you consider buying the full version, which is only $245. Perhaps one of the nicest features or ease of administration features is the web access, which means you can view all the logs from a web browser. You don't have to go over to the server or install any other software. So perhaps consider supporting this great Syslog server for the Windows platform by buying it. But for this tutorial, the free version is enough. So let's start by clicking on the download button and download the free version. Okay, on this page you're gonna have to provide personal information like your name, last name, company if you have one, the country you're from, the state, zip code, and email address, to name a few. Since I have the file on my desktop, I'm not gonna download. I just wanted to let you know. Okay, you will notice that the file was provided to you in the form of a compressed folder. So let's extract the contents. Although you are provided with 3 files, the one we need to install the Syslog server will be named kiwi_syslog_server. Double click on that executable file to start the installation. Okay, in order to use the software, you have to agree to the license agreement. Now on this window you have to decide whether you want to install Kiwi Syslog server as a service or install Kiwi Syslog server as an application. If you intend to keep the server running 24/7, then by all means please go with install Kiwi Syslog server as a service. Otherwise you will need to have a user log in order to start the server. Click on next after you make your decision. For this tutorial I'm going to use the local system account and click on next. Since I'm using the free version, I don't get to use the Kiwi Syslog web access. That's only for paid users. Click on next, and I am going with the normal installation. Click on next, and I'm gonna agree with the destination folder and wait for the installation to complete. Okay, let's go with run Kiwi Syslog server 9.1.0 and click on finish and wait. Now that we have a working Kiwi Syslog installation, we can move on to configuring Tomato. For this tutorial I am using Tomato version 1.25. Okay, go to the status, go to the sidebar, and under status click on logs. Now on this window you will notice at the bottom of the page the link logging configuration. Click on it. This will take us to the page where we'll start making changes in order to craft how and what messages are sent over to a remote server. In my case I am using a Linksys WRT54GL. The internal storage capacity of my router is rather limited, which is why I am disabling log internally and instead I am enabling log to remote system. Of course you will have to provide an IP address and a port. The IP address I'm using for this tutorial is 192.168.1.35 and the port is 514. Should be the default port for most syslog servers. Now, you can also log other events. One example would be in case you have access restrictions, cron, and the DHCP client, to name a few. However, I do not wish to log any of them. Tomato also allows you to log inbound and outbound connections. I would recommend enabling inbound connections if your router happens to be exposed to the internet. Limit. Now, this option makes sense if you are using the internal storage on the router. But now, since we have a remote server with pretty much unlimited space, you can set this limit to 0. 0 means unlimited. Once you are happy with the changes made above, go ahead and save the configuration by clicking on the Save button. Services will be restarted. Now you can move on back to our server to check for any changes. Once Tomato is done reloading the necessary services, you will notice that the server will start receiving all remote logs immediately. I hope you found this tutorial useful. If you have any questions, just send me an email. Thank you for watching.